Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating study. It's all about a powerful link found between certain foods and a lower risk of heart attacks or myocardial infarctions, specifically for young and middle-aged women. And that's a group that honestly has often been overlooked in this kind of research.
All right, what if I just threw this number at you? 32%. What if a simple dietary choice could be linked to a 32% lower risk of having a heart attack? That's a huge deal, and it's especially important for younger women. So, what in the world is behind this incredible figure?
Well, that 32% number comes from a major study that found a powerful connection between heart health and these special compounds called anthocyanins. And the best part? They're found in some of the most common, most delicious berries you can think of.
But you might be wondering, why was this study even needed? Well, it turns out the researchers were trying to solve a pretty big medical mystery. For a long, long time, our knowledge about heart attack risks, particularly the role diet plays, was surprisingly thin when it came to younger and middle-aged women.
I mean, think about it. So much of the classic heart disease research focused on older people, mostly men. And what that did was create this massive blind spot, this big knowledge gap for women under 60. Scientists knew the risks weren't exactly the same, but the full picture was still pretty fuzzy.
So before this study came along, the understanding was, well, incomplete. Doctors definitely knew about risk factors like smoking or using oral contraceptives, and they had some theories about things like coronary vasospasm. But the big question mark, the huge piece of the puzzle that was just missing, was diet. What specific role did food play? So, to fill in that blank, researchers tapped into one of the most powerful tools they have for this kind of work, the Nurses' Health Study 2. And the sheer scale of this thing is just staggering. We are talking about 93,600 women. And these were all healthy women, between 25 and 42 years old when they first enrolled. So this isn't some small niche experiment. It's a massive group, which gives the findings some serious weight. And this wasn't a one-and-done survey, not even close. Let's look at this timeline. They followed these women for 18 years. Every 4 years, they collected super detailed information about what they were eating. That kind of long-term view is absolutely crucial if you want to understand how our daily habits affect our health decades down the line.
Okay, so here's the smart question to ask right about now. Hey, how do we know it was really the berries? Couldn't it just be that people who eat berries are healthier in general? That is a great question, and scientists have a powerful tool to answer it. It's called multivariate adjustment. And it's basically a statistical way to digitally filter out all that other noise to see the effect of just one thing. And this just shows how serious they were about getting it right. The researchers controlled for all of this stuff. I mean, everything from how much you exercise and your BMI, to your family history, to how much fat you eat. They did all this to make absolutely sure the connection they were seeing was truly about the anthocyanins, and not just a side effect of a generally healthy lifestyle. So, after 18 years of meticulous tracking and all this rigorous analysis on almost 100,000 women, what did the data actually say? Well, the results were pretty remarkable. Over that entire 18-year period, there were 405 confirmed heart attacks among the women in the study. Now, that number itself is the crucial starting point, the baseline, that allows for all the comparisons. And here it is. This is the headline. When the researchers compared the women who ate the most of these anthocyanin-rich foods against the women who ate the least, there it was, a 32% lower risk of having a heart attack in the highest intake group. That is significant. But they dug even deeper. They wanted to know if maybe any plant compound, any flavonoid, would do the trick. And as this chart shows, the answer was a clear no. The strong protective link was specific to anthocyanins. Other types of flavonoids just didn't have that same powerful association. Okay, so what does high intake actually look like on your plate? Are we talking about some extreme diet? Not at all. The data pointed to a really simple, doable habit. Eating more than 3 servings of blueberries or strawberries a week was associated with this incredible drop in risk. And this is my favorite part of breaking down any study. This is where all that complex science becomes something we can actually use. We're connecting the dots from a scientific journal right to the produce aisle at the supermarket.
You know, I love this quote directly from the researchers because it really gets right to the point. They make it clear that we're not talking about some exotic, expensive supplement. These beneficial compounds are right there in everyday red and blue fruits and veggies, which means a simple change can make a real impact.
So let's just quickly wrap up the key points here. Number one, eating more anthocyanins is clearly linked to a lower heart attack risk in younger women. Two, we're talking about common foods like blueberries and strawberries. Three, this link holds up even when you account for all sorts of other lifestyle factors. And four, and this is super important in science, this study shows a powerful correlation, a link. It doesn't prove cause and effect. We need more research for that.
It's really an incredible finding that makes you stop and think. If this powerful connection between something as simple as berries and heart health was just waiting there to be discovered, it kind of leaves you with this one big, fascinating question, right? What other powerful secrets are hiding on our plates?